Dear Perceptive Reader, this is a James Poetry Consultant moment, and it is very important that you spread this to whoever it will help because I made a podcast the other day, and from my research, and let me tell you what I used for the research. I actually used the Google AI, the Google Artificial Intelligence search engine, Google AI. And in my research, it actually stated that the United States, through its budget or subsidies or what, giving money has never given more than 35, $36 million each year since 2001. Now listen to that. And remember, I talked about in the budget on how it was mainly like almost like a history lesson of the feel of the relationship because it's called friendship, Canada's friendship, etc. And I also related that what else about Canada? That they have millions of people that come to the United States and they spend millions of dollars a years or billions of dollars a year or something like that. In other words, they spend so much more money um, than just what the $36 million that's been given to them every year. You see, as subsidies or what have you. It's very important that I really mention that number that was only 36, 35, or $36 million a year. Um, I also said that Canada, their companies and things of that nature actually they still are located in Canada, but they do have their buildings and other types of trade and leases and everything in the United States as well, and vice versa with the United States. So, they have a very amicable trade working relationship, etc. And then I gave other examples about the border, protection from enemies. At the same time, the United States has always guaranteed that they would come to Canada's aid if somebody, even from the Cold War period, would invade them. Now, I still want to emphasize, though, from the Google AI research, it had mentioned that the United States was giving no more than 35 or $36 million a year to Canada in aid in one way or the other. Well, on the jamespoetry.online website, how I highlight different events that do happen that affects the economy and other professional businessmen. And it dealt with Trump and Musk showcase Tesla at the White House. Okay. And doing that, it's like a 30-minute press release and interesting topics that they were covering as well. The one that I want to zoom in on is that the president of the United States, as I mentioned to you before, he had gotten to the point, and the point has been proven, at least for all the many other parts of the world. Some of the stuff they were talking about, the non-reciprocation of trade, or people even paying their bills this way or that way, and how it affects the economy. Well, he stated something, the president of the United States, that it's almost like, okay, you decide, or should I say, you can even do further research on what is accurate or not. Since this is the latest, the newest information, I'm going to take it for right now still at face value of what the president of the United States actually said. So I'm going to make a correction here Even though the Google AI said what it said just within the past week or so that I told you I did the research on. And he actually mentioned that Canada actually receives over 2 billion, or was it 200 billion? Or all I know was in the billions. I think it's 200 billion, not just 2 billion, but over 200 billion dollars, even I think within the past year or so alone, from what? Subsidies that the United States giving them. So that's a big jump from 16 from 35, 36 million dollars a year, isn't it? So I wanted to give you that information because then it actually changes the view. Because remember, I told you for him to make that statement of even saying, "Well, Canada, you're going to have to be a part of treating the United States people better as well." Did I say it got to be more to it than just the $16 million? Well, from this press release, it's not $16 million. It's actually 200 billion dollars now that was given within the past year or so alone. That's a big jump, and that's just something to think about. So I wanted to give you that correction from our podcast that talks about Canada, our friendship with Canada, United States friendship with Canada, and this can be a part two with additional information. Okay. Have a wonderful day, Perceptive Reader. Take care.